Chavrusa Daf.
Okay, everyone. Chavrusa Dafers. To celebrate a new parak, I brought some Pez sours. It's honestly one of my favorite candies on the market these days.
Pez.
Yeah.
Pez sours.
Pez sours, Dafka sour.
Okay. Anyone listening to this hears this and comments the word Pez for the first 3 people to do that, I'll send them a Pez on Amazon.
Oh,
Just comment and I'll message you.
very nice.
You
That's
have
really
to
nice.
do it
Elliot.
within like the first 24 hours after it uploads.
After it uploads, okay.
Yeah. First
Great.
3 people. Just to give back to the Chavrusa Daf community.
Okay.
We want to show giving. But we are on the back of Chaf Amid Beis and a new Mishnah. We're starting our 4th parak, Rebbe?
Crazy, right?
Wow. Pound it. Go ahead, Rebbe.
All right. Mi she'amar harini Nazir. Someone says harini Nazir, Hashem chaver v'amar va'ani, and his friend overheard him, and he's like, and he says va'ani, and then a third person, now Levi's entering the picture. Levi's always late to the game. Va'ani, and he says, and I, kulam nazirim, all them become nazirim. Right, because obviously when he says ani, it's he's intending to say, and I also want to become a Nazir. Now, Hutter Harishain, Hutter and Kulan, interesting. If the first one gets Hataras Nadarim, they all get Hataras Nadarim. Hutter Achron, if the last one is released from Zal, Ha'achron Mater V'Kulan Asurim, the last one is going to be Asur, but the first 2 are, sorry, the last one's going to be Mater, but the first 2 are still going to be Asur.
It all makes sense to me. Does it make sense to you?
It does.
I started getting into this new podcast right away. I posted on my status.
I did see that you posted, but I didn't click.
Phenomenal.
What is it? Why? Why is it phenomenal?
People asking questions, broad range,
Okay.
and he answers with fascinating
It's
answers.
like ask me anything kind of thing, like Rebbe,
Yeah, like the words in the Gemara is that did Hashem tell Moshe those exact words? Like all these words? Like was this
When it says by Dabar Hashem el Moshe leimar,
No.
Is that exact?
No, this Machlekes Abai and Rava. Did Moshe Rabbeinu learn that Machlekes?
oh,
Not necessarily.
I would say he said not necessarily.
Right, like he speaks, and then like he answers that question, and then someone's like, the mushal of werewolves. Are werewolves real? And he like brings a ton of different
Reasons why,
like a medrash. Rabbeinu Ephraim says someone's a werewolf. A Binyomin was a werewolf.
Shevet Binyomin,
The Binyomin, yeah,
Binyomin Hatzadik.
yeah.
Interesting.
And then someone says 5/6, and then like boom, like the 190-minute episode covers like 12 different.
Where does he live? Where's he doing? Where's it?
Our
live?
Sameach podcast.
Interesting.
We're choking on the Pez here.
Yeah.
Late night choking.
Are you trying to talk and eat?
Yeah. Sorry.
You can't talk and eat Pez.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, what is it? There's something
Sour.
It goes to the back of your throat.
Yeah.
Woo. Yeah. Gotta let the...
But yeah, I wanted to give a shout out because one person listens to Reb Breidewitz's podcast because of this. So much Torah in there.
Cool. I think I will. You might get me.
I mean, just pick one topic and like go through like. 10
You say you have
episodes.
no idea what you're gonna get. It's a grab bag.
Correct.
It
shows in the description all the topics he spoke about, and you can timestamp. You can go.
Okay.
But yeah, it's interesting.
Okay. And he's someone who delivers it well.
Phenomenally, very interesting to listen.
And he's also like a Kirov style. So
Yeah.
it's like, how do I know that Hashem exists? Like,
That would be one question. The next question would be like, you have to make a bracha on
popcorn.
on rain if you like pick your mouth up. Like,
That's a question.
and then the next one would be like, does the Rambam agree with Plato or disagree when he says A, B, and C? And the next question is hieroglyphics in Egypt, And then the next one's like meat from China, Wagyu beef, like completely
Cool. Okay. You must be very smart then.
Yeah.
I like these wise people.
Sorry to deter.
Okay. Amar, Harini Nazir. If somebody said, I'm a Nazir, B'Shem HaChaver Amar, P kipiv usari kisarai. He didn't say ani. And this time Shimon didn't just say ani. He said, my mouth is like his mouth, or he said, my hair is like his hair. So basically in reference, I guess, to the wine or to his hair. Haray's a Nazir. He's also, Shimon becomes a Nazir in that case. Amar. Oh, I'm sorry. Harayni Nazir.
Okay, let's just do the Taisus on this. Pi kapiv sarav basari harayz a Nazir. Big Mar mefarish. The Gemara is going to explain what that means. So if someone says, do you do Taisus? The answer is yes.
Nice. Awesome. Thank you, Ali.
Sure. Don't thank me, thank Taisus.
Harayni Nazir. When it was like when you were also a kid and like you're using it to do Vayetze and there's like that tiny pasuk.
Yeah.
So I thought of it this last week parasha where like yesterday I was like singing. I'm like, oh my god, that's such a
It's
little.
on pasuk? Officially, it's a verse.
Oh, is it not?
I don't know.
thought it
That's my
was.
bar mitzvah parsha, 72 psukim, so maybe it is. We'll link it in.
It's not its own pasuk.
It's a good question.
Okay. We actually had a really short Mishnah in Nazir. Remember that one?
It was like a few words.
Yeah. Okay. I'm on my last pez right now, so I won't be choking after this one.
I have two more.
Harini Nazir, the Shama Ishtai. Ooh. Okay, bringing the women. And his wife heard, Ba'amra Va'ani, Meifar Eshalah, the Shalaikayim. He's allowed to be Meifar her nether, her Nazirs, right? Yet keep his intact. But if she said Harini Nazira, Bishama Baila Va'amar Va'ani, and then her husband heard it and said Va'ani, Eini Yachal Hafer, he's not able to be Meifar her nether.
Right, because if he's made for her nether, he's going to be made for his own, and he's unable to be made for his own.
Because Hefer,
Hafara does not work on yourself.
Right.
I only know that because I saw it. I did the Mishnah yesterday.
Oh. It's a special thing on a man for his wife, right? Okay.
Or
Harini.
you're not allowed to be made for your own nether. But, oh yeah, guys are allowed. Yeah, yeah.
Harini Nazir. Harini Nazir Ba'at. If a man said, I hereby am a Nazir, and you? Oh, it's a question mark. Harini Nazir Ba'at. Ba'amra Amein, and his wife says, Amein. Mefer Eshalah. So basically she's saying
Why
yes.
does she have to say amen? Because it was a question, meaning
Yeah,
he can say I'm a Nazir and you're also.
he could. But this time he was actually giving
Her the power to say it. Right?
Yeah. Mefer Shalah, he could revoke hers, the Shalai Kayim, and yet let his could still remain intact. Because it's, I guess it was two separate like vows. Also hers was second. Harein Nazira, Va'ata, however, if a woman said, I'm a Nazir and you, Va'amar Amen, and he said Amen, Eina Yachal Lahaver, he cannot revoke her vow. Okay. I think it all makes sense. Excited
Is it
to.
because she says and? Like it's connecting the two? Meaning
Yeah, because the one right before that.
that also says and. Meaning if he says Hareini Nazir and then he says you and she says Amen, he can revoke her fine. But if she says I'm a Nazir and then she goes you and he goes yeah, would you say that like he can't revoke hers? Because his is not contingent on hers. It's only contingent if it's an and.
No, she said you.
No, she says and you. I think the and is important.
Oh, the vit ata as opposed to.
It's like it's the same sentence. So she connected the two. And now if you say
So it's this exact same case. Like the last case and the second to last case are the same. The only difference is one is va'ani and one is
the guy who's
yeah. It's the same.
But if he says, I would say, if she says, I'm hereby a Nazira, she's able to take it upon herself, right? And then she full stop, period, and she goes, You? Question mark? And he goes, yeah. So his yeah makes him a Nazir, but he can go ahead and revoke hers because it's unrelated.
Ellie, I hear, and I can hear a Tana like saying that. That's like Tana talk right there.
Yeah. Beautiful noise in the background. It's Kinyan Masechta. They started Kinyan Masechta here.
Oh, did they?
I think so, yeah. I think
Really?
they have two different ones, maybe.
Just started?
I think Sukkah, yeah.
That's so interesting. In my shul also, we also just started, like Kodesh. We started Kinyan Masechta.
Oh, yeah.
We are up to, literally we just turned to Daf Beis and Beis. Yeah, we have Sukkah. If anyone wants to join, I'm definitely enjoying. Okay. Yosef. You want to take Yosef?
The Gemara presents a qualification of the Mishnah's ruling that one or more persons may become Nazirim merely by saying "and I."
He doesn't like when you do
He hates that, but he's going through it anyway with the noise in the background, so maybe this is helpful. Okay. The Gemara presents a qualification of the Mishnah's ruling that one or more persons may become Nazir merely by saying an I after the Nazir's vow of another. Yosef Reish Lakish Kamed Rabbi Yehuda Nesiya v'Yosef Tamar. While Reish Lakish was participating in a study session held before Rabbi Yehuda Nesiya, literally, Reish Lakish, Rabbi Yehuda Nesiya was the son of Rabbi Gamliel III and the grandson of Rabbi Yehuda Nasi. Reish Lakish sat before Rabbi Yehuda Nesiya and he said, the ruling of our mission applies only where each one of them links with the first one. He says, and I, within the time it takes to make an utterance. What is the definition of within the time it takes to make an utterance? The time it takes to give a greeting. How long is the time it takes to give a greeting? The time it takes for a student to greet his teacher. To say, Shalom Aleichem Rebbe. Peace be upon you, my teacher. According to Reish Lakish, if someone said, I'm hereby a Nazir, and another said, and I, the second person does not become a Nazir unless the statement was made before the time it takes to say the three Hebrew words, Shalom Alecha Rebbe.
Yeah. So this is a Yisoid Gadol B'Shas right here. If you want to know, this is our second Yisoid Gadol in Shas. Well, I think that we recorded at least. Teichadei Dibur is the amount of time it takes that it's... Whenever you hear the words Teichadei Dibur, it's the amount of time it takes to say Shalom Aleichem Rebbe.
Let me ask you a question. Did you read any more of the note?
No.
Okay, let me ask you a question, okay?
Oh, excited.
What if someone says, Hareini Nazir, the next guy says, and I, and then the third person says,
You're saying
and I,
have to be the third guy?
and the fourth guy says, and I. How many of them are Nazir?
I would say all of them.
I would have also, right? The Mishnah is only saying 3 because you get the point.
You can't say more than 3 in
The
Teichadei
fourth
Dibur.
does not become a Nazir, Zak the Rosh, because the statement was made after the 3-word time limit had elapsed.
Oh my goodness! Wow. That's why you have to say Va'ani. Vani. And it's like Shalom Aleichem Rebbe. Why? You get all 3 in. Vani, Shalom Aleichem Rebbe.
That's the time. But what if someone says Piv Kipiv Basar Basar, right? And then the second guy says Piv Kipiv. And then the third guy, but like the third guy says it, that's already a lot of words. Maybe he's not. The Mishnah didn't say that by that case. Maybe you could only do 1 Piv Kipiv.
Oh, how about this? What if guy 3 is going on number 2? Meaning
That's what I would have thought.
Right. You're piggybacking.
That's what the Rush is
Not
saying.
the original guy.
No, but
There's got to be someone that argues. Come on.
this is what the Rush says.
Right for an argument.
Oh, he speaks about that, and Rabbi Breitowitz speaks about machlekes. That we have machlekes, like, was the Torah given over, and there was machlekes, or is like machlekes part of the Torah? Very interesting.
Right here.
Okay, Rabbi Yehuda Nesiya disagrees with Reish Lakish. Amar Le, thank you for coming to my share, he says. right? Katuv lo yishavak Rav Chava Hamida. You have not given any leeway to a student who, before he has the opportunity to respond to someone else's Nazir, so happens to see his teacher and must read him. If immediately after hearing someone declare, I'm hereby Nazir, a student happened to see his teacher and gave him the green Shalom Aleichem Rebbe, it is then too late for the student to respond to the Nazir's declaration. Okay, so then just take it upon yourself. Like,
say Harina Nazira.
Okay. How wild is this, Rabbi Binyomin?
Okay.
Like, okay, fine.
So just say Harina Nazir.
Just say Harina Nazir. Like, we're not talking here where it's like he lost the chance and now it's lost forever. Like, we're splitting hairs here, Rabbi Yomi. So yeah,
we are splitting hairs.
Like if a guy sees his, it's also like it's like one of those questions from left field. Imagine learning this Gemara and someone like raises his hand. Rebbe, what if someone says that I see my Rebbe right when someone says Iranian Nazir, and then I lost the chance? Like it doesn't. It just seems like one of those types of
I'm
questions.
actually picturing a guy in my class in 6th grade.
Yeah.
Who was the what if guy.
And then the Rebbe's like has to entertain it because he's like participating.
Right,
That's the type of question.
So good.
Shout out to that guy from left field because he's right in line with Rabbi Yehuda Messiah.
And by the way, the end of that note says Rabbi Yehuda argues, therefore, that making a statement immediately after the 3-word interval is tantamount to making it during the interval. According to this view, not only 3, but 4 people who consecutively respond to NI all become
You gain an extra second.
You gain,
but not 5.
No.
What if I say and I during that?
But Rebbe, what if I had 2 Rebbeim that I saw that I had to say Shalom Aleichem Rebbe to?
What if the guy says Iranian Nazir and 8 people at the same time say and I? They're all Nazir, right?
Sure. There's a Guinness Book of World Record for the most amount of Naziris made in 1 second.
The Gemara finds support for the view of Reish Lakish in the Brisa. Tanya Nami Hachi. This was also taught in the Brisa. We did have a Tanya Nami Hachi a blot or 2 ago, that was not supported.
Threw me for a loop.
Yes.
Oh
and
man.
I'm
not gonna believe it. Like I need to see now like 5 Tanya Nami Hachis that really are proofs, and then I'll like get back into it.
Starts Chaf Aleph Amid Aleph.
Lost my trust.
Tanya Nami Hachi. Misha Amar Harein Nazir. Someone said I'm here by Nazir. Rishama Chaveri, and another person heard and waited the time it takes to make an utterance. And he says, Ani, who Asr v'chaverim mutter. He is bound by the Naziris, but the other one who said Ve'ani later on, or a few seconds later, is not a Nazir. So this Brisa corroborates Reish Lakish's opinion that after the 3-word time limit passed, it's not an effective means of adopting the Naziris. It contradicts Yehuda Messiah's view according to which response, meaning immediately after the 3-word limit is also valid. Wait, he said that?
That was Rabbi Yehuda. Remember, we said either 3 people or 4 people. Now we're bringing a raya that it's 3 people.
No, but according to Rabbi Yehuda Messiah, if someone greets his Rebbe and then says Vani, it's fine?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that's what he was saying.
Oh yeah, that's the end of that note. Read the last 2 sentences of that note. Rabbi Yehuda argues, therefore.
Oh, okay, now I understand. I understand.
So yeah, the Machlokes Reish Lakish and Rabbi Yehuda Messiah is
therefore that making a statement immediately after the 3-word interval is tantamount to making it during this interval. That making a statement immediately after the 3-word interval is tantamount to making it during. Okay, I understand. I didn't understand. Now I understand. So that's how you can have 4. Got it. I thought it was like he says Vani during while the guy's saying already Nazir. Okay, so you have a little bit extra time.
Yeah.
It's like Shalom Aleichem Rebbe from Chaim Berlin. Like that's he gets a little bit longer with it. Shalom Aleichem Rebbe from Rabbi Senter's Yeshiva. That's how Rabbi Yehuda Messiah says it.
Super Seder?
Super Seder. This is Super Seder right here, right now. Leva Messiah Le. The Gemara suggests an additional support for Reish Lakish can be drawn from our Mishnah. Noise is getting louder, and Nathan, the video editor, is bugging out.
I didn't.
Bugging out. Shout out to Nathan. Okay, Leva Messiah Le. Let us say that the support for Reish Lakish is as follows. Misha Amarini Nazir, Shama Chaver Amar Vani. Another person heard and said Anai, Vani and I. Sulai, the Mishnah mentions only 2 respondents and no more. Where the Mishnah, in accordance with our opinion, held Rabbi Nasi, would have mentioned 4 responses. Tanya ki roichli lich shiv lezel. Should the Tana of our Mishnah continue to enumerate all the possible cases like a peddler advertising his wares? Like, no, it's just one more.
Calm down, right? It's like, yeah, if it's one more, then you do.
Oh, that's the next question. But listening, Chai Lashmin Hani. So let the Mishnah mention only 1 response.
Just say Shimon. Why get into Levi?
Okay, different question. And the validity of others were to be conveyed to us by implication. Why would it be implicit? We wouldn't know exactly how many if it said 1. So we want to bring a raya from this Mishnah that someone says, it says 2, you get 2, so it's a total of 3, and not 4. Comes along, Rabbi you're going to see, and he would say, it's not going to say everything. Oh, it's not going to say everything, but it's going to say 1 and 2. So just say 1. Why are you saying 1 and 2? And for the Gemara Hachanami, you're right. The Tana could have mentioned only 1. However, Misham Dekani Sefer, since the latter case of the Mishnah states, Hutar Risha and Hutar Kulan, if the first one is released from his vow, all the others are released. But if the last one is released from his vow, the last one is freed, while all the others remain bound. Then, it implies that there's a middle party besides the first one and the last one. Therefore, the first clause of the Mishnah states, and I, showing that there's a 1 and a 3.
But really, what?
But really, you're right. It could have just said 1 and 1. It could have just said Harini Nazir and Bani, and then that's all I would need, no?
Right, meaning it didn't have to say Va'ani Va'ani. Because the Mishnah showed that there was a middle case, we decided to say Va'ani Va'ani. I still say Va'ani Va'ani Va'ani.
The Mishnah be peddler? Oh, say 3 plus,
right,
say 1 and plus 3?
Oh, no, I was going to say like there'll be a peddler. I'm saying, I was just trying to, yeah. Vani.
Let's look at note 6. An apparent difficulty. This does not seem to resolve the Gemara's question. If in the first clause the mention of the second respondent is superfluous, the same difficulty applies to the latter case as well. Why does the latter clause not suffice with 1 respondent and says, if the one who said I'm hereby Nazir is released from his vow, the one who is pendant in eye is released too? The answer is that the latter clause deliberately deals with the case involving 2 respondents, so it comply the following. Only if the second respondent is released from his vow are all the parties unaffected. But if the first respondent is released from his vow, the second respondent is released as well. Which will teach that each respondent is linked to one that preceded him, as opposed to one who made the original declaration.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Like, I understand the Gemara.
That makes sense. So really, it is a riot to.
No, it's no riot anyway.
Riot, because the fact that it says va'ani is just to match the seifa, but you can't bring a proof to it to show that it's like Rish Lakish or like reviewed in the seal.
Yes.
Ibalahu, they raise the following question: Chad v'chavre mispis. When people respond in I, does each one refer to his predecessor? Dilma become mispise, or do they all refer to the first person who made the original Nazir's declaration?
This was the question that we had.
The Mainaf Gamina, what do we care? La spuse umeza. A practical consequence is whether a series of respondents are able to continue linking with one another in an indefinitely long chain.
Here we go.
If you say that each one refers to his predecessor, then they can continue linking with each other indefinitely. If you say that they all refer to the first one who made the original Naziris, those who respond after the time it takes to make Shalom Aleichem Rebbe, it does not link. So what is the halacha? Well, I mean, you can learn from our Mishnah that it's not all linked, right? Was that where the Gemara is going?
Yeah.
There's only 2 responses, no more. Become who dimas. Learn from this, they all refer to the first one. Listening to Vavani. Like Mishnah say many responses. Should the Tana continue to enumerate all the possibilities, like a peddler? No, the Mishnah should have said one more to show that it's not Taif Kedei Hebrew.
Meaning there's a chiddush in saying it. It's not peddling. It's teaching us something.
Right. You would, do one more so I know for sure that it's not restricted to the Shalom Aleichem Rebbe.
Well, it depends which way it would go. Let's say it.
What's the point?
Yeah. Right. Yes. It should have done one more. Problem is it couldn't, because according to Reish Lakish, it's only enough the first three. I think we already know the answer. That's the problem. We kind of already.
It's hard, right?
No, I'm saying we already know that. We already know that Reish Lakish holds that only three. It could only be Reuven, Shimon, Levi, right? Rabbi Yehuda Nasiya, maybe because his name's Yehuda, wanted Reuven, Shimon, Levi, Yehuda to be involved, right? Because that guy who wants to say, but what if I was already saying Shalom Aleichem to my Rebbe?
Right. So we wanted to know, are they linked or are they not?
Yeah.
You see from our Mishnah that they're not linked because you can only say it, you only have a chance for a couple.
Right.
So the Gemara is saying, no, don't bring a right from our Mishnah. Mishnah was just talking.
It's not going to pedal.
It's just saying a couple. So like you see from there, it could be linked. You know,
Could be linked. Could have been 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
But if so, the Mishnah should mention just one response of N-I. And the validity of all the others would be conveyed to us by implication. Why does the Mishnah list 2 responses? Easy to tell you, since the Mishnah states in the latter clause, Hutar Rishon, Hutar Kulan, Hutar Achan, Achan, Hutar V'kulan Asur, and Makal Ikon Say, implies that there's a middle party. If the first one is released from his vow, all the others are released. But if the last one is released from his vow, only the last one is free, while the others remain bound to them. It implies that there's a middle party besides the first and the last one. Therefore, the Mishnah states, and I, thus indicating a response between the first and last party. So, again, we don't have a raya from this Mishnah to show, to get the answer to the question. Let's try to find another raya. Tashma, come learn the following proof from our Mishnah. Hutar Rishon, Hutar Kulan. If the first one is released from his vow, all the others are released from their vows. Rishon Hu Desare. The Mishnah implies that it is only when the first person is released from his vow that others are released from theirs. But if a middle party comes, see, like, Shmamina, become a master. So learn from this that they all refer to the first one. Right, the fact that we're dealing with the first one and the middle one,
I don't see the raya. Because, it could be, I still see how it go either way. Because if it starts from the first, and the third is linked to the second is linked to the first, once the first link breaks, they all break. Whether it's because it's a piggyback or whether because everyone goes on the first person.
Let's look at note 14. For if each respondent refers to his immediate predecessor, the release of anyone's vow would automatically void all those that came after it. The Mishnah would then have stated if the middle one is released, all the subsequent ones are also released. Since the Mishnah does not say this, but mentions only the first vow in this context, it implies all the vows are dependent. Meaning, the fact that the Mishnah focuses on the first one and not the middle one, right? The first one we know is a Nazir. But now we're dealing with the subsequent ones. If you want to pause, let's say the third one, just say the middle one is revoked or whatever,
right.
And you'll know. The fact that we don't really focus on the middle one, we focus on the first one, then it shows that there's credibility. There's more. Shows that there's more focus on the first one, and therefore the answer to the question is that they are not linked, and we all focus on the first one. I can answer you that in fact each one refers to his immediate predecessor. Thus, where a middle party would be released from his vow, those who followed would indeed be released from theirs. However, the Mishnah specifies the release of the first vow because it wants to state they are all released. I'm saying if the Mishnah were to discuss the release of the middle part, there's the first person who's not released. Therefore, the Mishnah states the first one. Why does the Mishnah want to say they're all released?
Okay, let's see.
Perhaps the Mishnah, note 15, wants to state they are all released for the sake of stylistic contrast with the following clause. which states all the others remain bound. The latter clause for part specifies that the last one is used, all the others remain bound by theirs. It wants to say with this call.
Some poetic.
Okay, so now we still don't have an answer to this question. Tashma, come and learn a proof from our Mishnah. Putter ha'achron. If the last one is released from his vow, ha'achron mutter b'chulun asurin. Only the last one is freed from the obligation of his nearest, while all the others remain bound. After whom there is no one else is released from his vow. If the middle party after whom there is this last one is released from his vow, mystery, then the last one is released too. Learn from this that each respondent refers to the one that preceded him. The fact that it says if the last one is released from is freed, then the others remain bound. The Mishnah implies that this outcome, that all the others are unaffected, applies only when the last one, after whom there's no one else, is released from his vow.
But if it would have been a middle
But if the middle party, after whom there is the last one, there is the last, right? This last guy is after the middle one, then the last one, mystery, then the last one is released too. It's like taking one part of the Mishnah and saying, oh, the fact that you said this last one is freed while all the others remain bound, I'm going to take out from that if it was the middle one, then the last one would be unbound.
I'm confused by the words bound and unbound. Can we use mutter and aser?
Yeah. Mutter means what? That he's not an aser?
Right, he was released from the vow.
He's released, okay. So the fact that it says if the last one is released from his vow, that we can learn from there, the fact that it says this last one, and there's no one else after him, that's when he is...
Let's just use Reuben, Shimon, Levi.
Yeah, so
Levi had a Hataras Nadar.
Correct. And the Mishnah says that everyone before him is still a Nazir.
Right, so Reuben and Shimon are still Nazir.
And that's what it says in the Mishnah.
Right. So it says
but you can learn out from that the middle party,
so Levi,
Shimon,
right,
who does have a Levi after him,
right.
If Shimon was released, then Levi would also be released, right? If Shimon was not a Nazir, then Levi would also not be a Nazir.
If Shimon was released,
then Levi would also be released. So boom, there's my proof. There's my proof that they're linked to one each other.
How do you get that? How do you get from the first part of Hutter Achron, Ha'achron Matikun Asurin, how do you get to if Shimon is released, that Levi would also be released? Where do you get that?
Because you learn it out from an inference. If the last one is released, if Levi is released, let me ask you a question. The Mishnah says if Levi is released, Reuben and Shimon are not released.
Right.
So I can learn out from there that if Shimon is released, then Levi's released, right? You said possibly, right?
Possibly,
if you're telling
also
me,
not possibly.
Okay, but if you're saying that the case is the reason no one else is released is because there's no one else after Levi, right?
Yeah.
Let's say Levi says and I, right? And then and then they say, okay, whatever reason you're released, right?
Right. So
Mishnah says that only Levi's released. But I can learn from that
that if
Shimon is released, then Levi's released, right?
I don't see that inference.
Why not? You're telling me that the reason Shimon is not released is because he's before, right? And the reason no one else is bound is because no one's after Levi. But if let's say Yehuda was after Levi, to make it a little easier for you, then Yehuda would be released, right? Why would Yehuda be released? Must be he's released because they're linked to one another. Do with that what you wish.
That is simple. Okay. Mystery. linkage.
In fact, I can tell you that they all refer to the first person. Umay achron diktani, and what is the meaning of the term the last one the Mishnah mentions? It's not to be taken literally, rather it means the middle one. Why does the Mishnah use this term? I do Tani Rishon Tanakh. Since the Mishnah used the term in the first one, he uses the term in the last one for the sake of stylistic symmetry. But hold on, the middle. If achron means the middle one, then why is Levi? Oh, you wanted to bring this inference to teach you that Levi, that they're linked to one another. I'll really tell you that when everyone says Vani, Shimon and Levi, it's all going on the first one. The complete opposite of what you thought. And Shimon, when he says Vani, and he's freed from he's released from his Naziris, and Levi's not released. That's what the Mishnah is saying.
How do you read it though?
That when it says Achron, that's
talking about
Shimon.
Shimon, because he's after Reuben.
Reuven, right.
Then Achron mutter, Shimon is mutter, Lechulan Asurin.
And Levi,
Reuben and Levi.
Levi was when he said Bani, it was going on Reuven, and he's still bound by that. He's not released.
Alright, so why didn't it say Emsai? So it should have said.
So what?
It should have said Emsai.
Right, but stylistically, when you say the first one, you want to end off by saying the last one. Even though you're right, it is Shimon. So we have a Mishnah that can be read both ways. We wanted to bring a raya from our Mishnah to show that that it's a train, that one's linked to the next. That raya you brought from our Mishnah is actually a raya the other way. Like, I can say it's the other way. Achron means that only Shimon's released and Levi's not released. Why are you calling Shimon Achron? Stylistically, that's what makes sense. Got it?
Yep. Beautiful.
Come learn what was taught explicitly in a brayso. So Hutar Risha and Hutar Kula. And if the first one said, I am hereby a Nazir, is released from his vow, all the others are released from theirs. Hutar Achron. If the last one is released from his vow, Achron Mutar V'chul Asurin. Only the last one is freed from the obligations of Naziris, while the others remain bound by them. Hutar Emsai. If a middle party is released from his vow.
Oh wait.
This is not the Mishnah. This is just a brayso.
Yeah.
This is just a brayso.
Like,
now we're showing that Emsai does not mean that Emsai Achron means the last one and Emsai is the middle.
Yeah.
If a middle, and that means that okay, let's see. Mutter Emsai, the middle party is released from his vow. Hemenu Matu Mutter. Anyone who responded an eye after him is freed from his state of Nazir. So that is linked.
Oh, that is linked.
Yeah, Hemenu Mala Usher. But anyone who responded an eye before him remains bound, because that an eye is going. Is going right. That NI is going on the first one, right?
Not on the first one,
or on the one before him.
Yeah.
So from this, that when an individual responds, NI refers to the view of his immediate predecessor, rather than the original Nazir declaration, and one in the middle doesn't spoil.
Wait. Okay, fine. I'm good with that. But then the whole first Gemara, which was predicated that how many Va'anis can you say? We had a Machlekes Reish Lakish and Rabbi Yochanan. Sorry, we had a Machlekes Reish Lakish and Rabbi Yehuda and Asiyah as to is it 3 Va'anis but not 4? Yehuda said no, it's 4. If all the Va'anis are just on the guy before you, then why does it have to be Tokadei Dibur of the original guy?
That's a good question. It's a great question. I can say that even though they're connected, you still need that to be in the time span.
Really?
I'm just trying to answer it. That even though, like that Nazir's power of Hareini Nazir, it lasts 4 seconds. But if you want to do the train, you got to do the train within that time. Oh, and it's a train, by the way. That's my answer.
It is a train.
It is a train, but it has to be done within that time.
Train, as long as you're catching the last train, you can keep.
No. The power lasts like one of those games where like you get the power run, but you gotta do it all in the same motion. But that's that. How do you how else do you bavarn that machlekes Rabbi Yehuda Nasiya and who? Reish Lakish into what we just said?
Yeah. Okay.
Go ahead, Rabbi Binyomin.
Here we go. Okay. Harini Nazir v'shama chaver v'amar pi kepev usari kesarai. After the guy said Harini Nazir, he says my mouth is like his mouth, my hair is like his hair. He also becomes a Nazir, we said. Now, the Gemara questions Mishnah's rule. Mishum de Omar pi kepev usari kesarai. Right, Nazir? That makes him a Nazir? Just that enough?
Question mark, exclamation point. Not just a question mark.
So I have to say it differently then.
Yeah.
Just because he said my mouth is like his mouth, or my hair is like his hair, is because of Nazir.
Excellent. Just sent our video editor to the files, to different settings. He's looking up YouTube now. How do I deal with the screen? Excellent.
Sorry to make this complicated, but I think for our first exclamation point, question mark, we needed a serious reaction.
Nathan, can you add like a boom, like an exclamation point? Not like what you do, like have some like profanity that like laced with. No, just a question mark and an exclamation point.
No asterisks.
Yeah, no pound signs.
Hashtags.
Just slam it onto the screen.
Urmino.
We don't watch it, so we don't know if he actually does it. But we like that. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Urmino. But this, okay, Urmino. Wait a sec, completely forgot the question. So,
It's so loud.
wait, is it true that is saying pi kepiv or sari kasara enough to make you a Nazir? We have in a Mishnah, our Mishnah is conscious by the following brisa. Yodi Nazira, Viragli Nazira. If someone says my hand is a Nazir or my leg is a Nazir, Lo Yamar Klum. Raishi Nazira, Kvedi Nazir. But if he says my head is a Nazir, my liver is a Nazir, more of a reference to his head being hair, his liver, the wine, Hare is a Nazir. Then he is a Nazir.
They knew back in the day.
I know. How did they know that? They're not idiots, but. Hare is a Nazir. Zaklal. Davar shehanashama tluya by Hare is a Nazir. Oh, no, maybe not like what we thought. If the organ mentioned in the declaration is one upon which life depends, one becomes a Nazir.
Oh, interesting, because the head and the liver are all related to...
Is it liver or kidney, actually?
No, if you drink, you mess up your
That's
liver.
the liver, right? So maybe they got this wrong. This contradicts our Mishnah, which states that one can become a Nazir by referring to one's hair or mouth, neither of which are vital organs. Right?
Yeah.
If I cut your hair, Ellie got a nice haircut on Friday. When he cut his hair, that didn't cause death.
You know
He's
what?
still here.
Can I say something?
You could say it.
I can answer this question very easily. The reason in the Mishnah the mouth and the hair, those are both related to drinking and hair cutting. That's why you're a Nazir. And in this Mishnah, with the following brisa, a head and a liver is associated with a Nazir. That's why you're a Nazir. But a leg and a hand is unrelated directly to Nazir. That's why it's not good.
Good answer. Is
Please
that
let
the
that
Gemara?
be the answer.
Let's see. Amar Yehuda, the Amar Hachi. Mishnah refers to one who said the following: Ye'asa pi kepiv mi yayin. Let my mouth be like his mouth with respect to abstention from.
Is it bad to say I like my
my
answer better?
Yeah, I like it also. Let my hair be like his hair.
Set it up
with
like
respect to
that.
abstention from cutting. Because I really thought it was going that direction.
Are we allowed to give another answer?
Go for it.
No, like the
and-
Gemara says that it's a chesuri mechzer, right? That let my mouth be like his
Right.
mouth with respect to wine, or let my hair be like his hair with respect to cutting. In some ways, it's tying mouth and hair to his ears. I think my head should be like another.
Yeah.
my liver should be like him. What's Rabbi Yehuda saying, and what's happening in the Brisa? Why does it work? Why does saying my head is a Nazir work? Is it because he's also saying...
Oh, so it's going to go back? No, it's going back to vital organ. Chop, that's the answer. They said a zeha klal. So it's like if you said your, I don't know, your lungs. Your lungs are a Nazir. According to this, you're a Nazir. Even though your lungs has nothing to do with Naziris. It's a vital organ. I know.
If a vital organ with life depends on it, then you're a Nazir. That's one way to become a Nazir. And if you actually speak out, then my mouth should be like his mouth as it relates to Naziris. That also works.
No, that my mouth is like his mouth because of wine.
Oh, right.
Or my hair is like his from cutting. Yeah.
Why is it question on the Brisa? Why does it take effect if the declaration is one upon which life, if you mention an organ with which life depends on it?
And
what's
why
the value of that? That's why I like the answer we procured a little better, because anytime you mention an organ or body part that's related to Naziris, that can take effect. But if it's not, like a leg or a hand that's not directly Naziris related, then...
Again, so I think then the nafkamina would be if you say my heart is a Nazir. What is that?
Life depends on it, so that also works.
Oh, you want to say it should be either if the life depends on it, you're okay with that. That should make you a Nazir. And also anything that's specific to...
No, I want to say that, I guess it's against the Brisa, so I can't really. But like, the Zeh Klal is part of the Brisa, so that has to be baked into it. But like, if there was no Zeh Klal and we just ended it off, I would say, when are you a Nazir? But the body part that you're mentioning is directly correlated with Naziris. Okay.
We don't always know everything.
No.
That's also, you gotta know when to back down.
Yeah. Oh, he was talking, Breitowitz was talking that Machlekes in the back in the day was very simple. They had a Sanhedrin, 36. At the end of the day, you had Machlekes. They had a mechanism to clean up that Machlekes. 36 people say this, then the 35 Rabbanim who said that have to now follow the 36, the majority. Nowadays, we don't really have a mechanism to deal with Machlekes.
So what ends up happening?
That's why we have a lot of Machlekes.
You're saying it doesn't get solved. I think back then it got solved.
Correct.
Do you really think those 35 were so adamant?
What do you mean? Yeah.
They just like, do you think when they went home, they paskined like the 36?
Yeah, they had to. Yeah.
Whether it was a chumrah or a kula?
Yeah, the Roiv wins out. They had a system to...
You just did like a Yaakov roll your eyes.
Possibly.
Sorry,
There's no video.
to get that. I don't have a brother.
No, it's okay.
So
it's okay.
I don't get that.
That's okay. I'll meet you outside later.
All right.
Okay, Biter, let's do a little more.
Your mother would appreciate that I said that.
Yeah, you think she's listening this far?
No.
47 minutes in? God bless her.
If you are, she never responded to us. I guess she wasn't listening.
Although her father once took my grandfather took my grandmother out to Yonkie's in Flatbush, Chinese restaurant. No, she is. He's not. And they said he never, like, he was a pre-Wadei Rebbe, he learned Torah all day, over 40 years of pre-Wadei Rebbe, and they once asked him, you went out to eat, that's very uncharacteristic. You took, like, what was the occasion? He goes, oh, I finished Shas, so I took my wife out to eat, like, to celebrate.
Oh, and what's
like,
this? It's like a pizza store?
No, it was like a Chinese place, like, like someone finishes Shas, they make a mad siyum, and this and that. He finished multiple times, but like, to celebrate, he's like, okay, let's go out to a little bit of a fancier place.
What was his name?
Rabbi Nehemiah Chaim Ritterman. That's who my oldest is named for.
Wow, that's an amazing thing to named
Yeah.
after.
Nathan, when you get up to this part, let me know. I'll send you a photo of my Saba. Okay.
Beautiful. Okay. I feel like I quoted my grandfather, but what did I say about him? I don't remember.
Your father's father?
Did I quote him already? I don't remember. All right.
Okay, the Gemara continues its study of the Mishnah. Go ahead.
Yes, it does. Hareini Nazira. Let's see, where are we at? Alright, we got a little more.
We can finish to over here.
No,
Then
there's more.
we have a
I feel like
short.
we could do this. Oh, yeah?
We have a short one tomorrow.
Okay, fine. Oh, we'll see.
Whatever you
Let's see how
want.
it's going. What time we got? 9:07. Hareini Nazira Rishon Ba'al Amar Ba'ani. A woman said Hareini Nazira, and then her husband said, Bani, Eini Yachal Hafer, he can't revoke her vow. Yibaylahu. We're going to ask about this whole part. How do you say Hafaras Nadarm?
Mm-hmm.
Baal me'eker oka oy dilma megaz goyes. When a husband revokes his wife's vow, is he uprooting it? Does he abolish it retroactively? Does it work lemafreya? Oy dilma megaz goyes, or does he just cut it from where it's at?
Mikanu lahaba.
Oh, okay, good. Shma.
I was listening to Sully Bornstein. He was talking about Hafaras Nadarim and She'ela. So I asked the Rav Avi Linger what She'ela. She'ela is a Shaila where you go to the Rav and he says, "Oh, you."
Did you really not?
Did you mean it? Oh, you didn't mean it.
Would you
Okay.
would you have done it if you
Right.
Right.
Yeah, that's She'ela. Maybe She'ela's like retroactively and Hafaras Nadarim could be Mikan lahaba. That type of thing.
Or they the same.
Right. I don't know.
I think it once happened. I think there was a thing.
You think there was a thing?
Yeah, there was a thing once. I forget. It was some big gadol, and he took upon himself not to eat like chalstam or something. I don't know. One of those ones, like chalstam or bishalakam. I don't know. Bishalakam, I think no one does it.
Yeah, no, that's bad.
That's best.
Yeah.
Okay. One of those like chumras, and then his like wife made it, right? And do you remember the end of the story?
No, I don't know.
So I don't either. I'm trying to remember, but it was something like he's basically shoot. One of those though. If you would have known that your wife was making this,
Did he eat it? Let's say it was chalstam. Did he eat it?
I don't remember. We're gonna find out.
You know that story where
Sorry, I was about to.
yeah, that was a great story. There was a guy who was eating by a gadol, and they were serving dessert, and the guest tasted the dessert, and it was terrible. And the mother, the wife walks out, and the gadol says, "Give me the dessert," and he goes, "Here." He's like, it's been terrible, but for so many years I didn't have the heart to tell her. I don't want to tell her, but I've developed the ability to eat it fast without telling her. So he ate it. He ate the guests also. I'm not recommending that. Like, I'm sure there are ways that you can do that, but he didn't want to. This gadol didn't want to hurt her feelings
I
in any
feel like
capacity.
that's a great story for the 200 years ago. I think today, modern therapists will say, I think it's best to, in a nice way, like, talk to your wife about it, right? Have a conversation.
If she's serving it, she should eat it.
All right. So, Ibalu, Baal Meikar Akar, does it cut it off retroactively? Sorry, does it uproot it retroactively? Or Dilma Megazet? Does it cut it from the Kanalaba? So, my napkin, Leisha another Nazir, a woman who became a Nazira, B'Shama Chaverta V'Amra V'Ani, her friend, I guess we got Rachel and Leah here. Leah said V'Ani, B'Shama Baila Shal Rishayna, and Rachel's husband, call him Ruben, heard V'Heperla, and so the husband of the first woman heard his wife's out and revoked of her. So now, I guess the question is Leah's vow revoked? Just because Rachel. He amrit maker akar. If when a husband does Acharas Nader, it revokes L'mafreya, then a Hinami Ishtari, then the second woman is also released from Ravav. Amrit Megas Goyes, if it just severs it, Mikana Lamba. Ihi Ishtri, but Chaverta Asir. He's definitely going to be made for his wife's neder, but it's not gonna release the second wife. You can't do it for someone else's wife.
Okay, but why is
You
it
could be made for your own wife's.
Why is it totally on whether it's retroactively or not? Okay, retroactively I understand. It severs everything.
So therefore, it was
But
as
even
if
if it's
vow never
Mikana
happened.
Lahaba,
It's only from today and now you're no longer a Nazir.
okay, so from now until later on, the friend's also not.
But you cannot be Mefer, your friend's wife's Nazir.
Saying once it's effective,
Once effective, you can no longer.
you can't
end
sever it
hers. Right.
now. That's interesting, because I wouldn't have thought that. Do you think we're doing Kinyan Masechta? Like, we're also being kind of the Masechta, right?
In a different way.
Yeah, we're doing different
Alright.
form of acquisition.
Right.
We are the Zichru app. I can't wait to see. I get excited.
By the way, I watched the intro by Rabbi Goldhar.
What intro?
He showed me the video, and he showed me the article on Shabbos.
Yeah.
So I was really excited because Rabbi Goldhar, I think we were his guinea pig class. He came to us in 6th grade.
Yeah, talk about that.
And he taught us how to memorize a bunch of stuff in Chumash. And I still remember it to this day, by the way. So then I watched his thing. It was so nice to see Rabbi Goldhar again. In this.
That was the intro. What, the intro to what Zichru is?
Yeah, what Zichru is.
Is it interesting?
So it is interesting. I'll just tell you one thing that I'm not sure if you know. So they have in every Masechta, Daf Beis is always going to be a bias for Beis.
Okay.
Dalit is a Deles. So every Masechta, the image or the video will always be a house and then something connected to it.
Oh.
So you'll always remember in every Masechta what that Beis is, what that Gimel is, what that, and then it's the same. And then they add in the themes of that. And then he said he always picks 3 things from the daf.
Yeah.
3 is a good amount of. I didn't realize that. Until
Yeah.
So it's 3. They take what else?
Your test is always a yacht.
Oh.
There's always a cafe. Right? Okay.
Exactly.
Tez Zion wasn't Tasmanian Devil, it was Toad.
Oh, really? Oh,
I gave him too much credit.
that's funny. Toes is better.
Yeah. Okay, let's finish this off because my brain is melting.
Okay. So wait, you got the question?
Yeah.
But this is a Geshmak question. Freya, Ikana Laba.
And then Nafkamina.
Right. Nafkamina. For if another woman. So which one is it? So Tashima.
Amazing how much we're learning out from our Mishnah. Keep bringing riots from I thought it was just a regular Mishnah. We got a few cases. And then so many questions are predicated on this.
Just from a Va'ani.
Right.
Tashima Harenu Nazira. B'Shama Bailav Omar Va'ani. Eini Yachal Hafer. Right. She first said, I'm a Nazira. And then he said, Va'ani. He's not allowed to be Mayfair or Neder. Wait, what? We said that?
Yeah, if the safe of her mission. If she says I'm a Nazira and her husband heard and said no, he cannot revoke her vow because he's not. That would be revoking his own vow.
Oh, right.
And you're not allowed to revoke your own vow.
If you want to tell me it's Mikana Lahaba, it should work. Just let him revoke the vow his wife, and he'll remain bound because it's only Mikana Lahaba. So he's only cutting hers, but it'll continue his original Naziris.
If it's Mikana Lahaba, then he should be able to revoke his wife's vow, and his vow already took effect. I learned it though that it was predicated on hers, so that's why you're not able to. But okay.
But that predication is only if it's Lamafreya.
Okay.
You're thinking in your mind because you think it works Lamafreya.
Okay.
So Elalash Mamino Baal Mekar Akar, it's totally uprooting it Lamafreya like you thought. And that's why the revocation of her vow would result in cancellation of his vow, which was linked to hers, and that's why it doesn't work. No, not a good proof. Laila, make us guys. Really, you could tell me? I could read our Mishnah. That's also mikano haba. Uvadinu delay for Allah. And strictly speaking, in the case of the Mishnah, it should be possible for him to revoke his wife's vow for her. Time to time, in delay matzi made for her. The reason he's unable to be made for her neder, her nazira. Even the Amar Lava Ani, since he said to her, and I command the Amar Kayam L'chidame. As if he said, I'm upholding it for you, meaning he already confirmed her vow. He can't be made for her after he confirms it. So Imichal Akamasi Melsi Mevar. Accordingly, if he appeals his confirmation, he can revoke her vow, the Ilai Loi Matsi Mevar. If he appeal, Imichal I'm not sure what that end means. The
Meaning
law,
if he goes ahead and uproots his
then you need to go.
Then he can go ahead and revoke her vow, and it's mikanu lahava.
Well, look at note 9. The law is that a husband who has confirmed his wife's vow can have his confirmation annulled by a sage or a panel of 3 laymen. Meaning, you're right, you can't do hafaras nether, but you could still do she'ela. Then he is once again empowered to revoke his wife's vow.
Then he can revoke her vow because it is
because he took away the confirmation.
Right, and then it's mikanu lahava, and he can revoke her vow, but not and keep his own.
And he could keep his own.
Yeah, you wanted to bring a riot from here that you wanted to bring a riot from here that it's retroactive. Comes along and says, no, I'll show you a case where you can do mikanu lahaba, and the reason why over here you can't do mikanu lahaba because he confirmed it once he affirmed it. Once he undoes his confirmation, he can then revoke her vow, and then he can do mikanu lahaba. So it's not a raya to the masfreya. Okay, so we're going to continue from the Tashma. 1 hour in the bag.